quick word today from Psalm 1. Listen to what the psalmist says. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. And you notice the progression there. He's walking first, then standing, then sitting in the wrong place. First time he's just passing by. Second time he stops to notice. Third time he's sitting down there in the wrong place. And so we see that pattern we don't want to follow. But here's the pattern we do want to follow. Blessed the man who does not do those things, but who does this, who delights in the law of the Lord. And in his law he meditates day and night. So there's another psalm that says, delight yourself in the Lord. If you delight in the Lord, he'll give you the desires of your heart. In other words, he changes your heart's desire to cause your desires to line up his desires. That's what it really means to be born again. It's a surrender of the will, my will for his will. Blessed is the man who delights in the law of the Lord. In his law, he meditates day and night. What is the law? Well, it's a whole lot more than the Levitical commands, or those 10 commandments. It's ultimately the law is a reference to God's revealed will. So blessed is the man that delights to know the will of the Lord. And not just to know it, but to know it because he means to do it. And he meditates on the law day and night. This is your 24/7 desire to know and do the will of the Lord. Here are the promises that come with that. This is all from Psalm 1. That guy, that lady, that person who delights in the law of the Lord, meditates on it day and night, will be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Kind of like this one behind me. Right by that river. Or, yeah, let me show you a different one. Here at the cabin this morning, getting some things ready at the last minute. So here's some trees planted by the river. Just a few moments ago, a bald eagle flew out of the big one on the other side of the river, as you kind of see center screen just over my shoulder. But all these trees have a constant source of water. Their roots go deep. They are strong because of that. And it says he'll be like a tree planted by rivers of water. Now he is the river, by the way, and his rivers never run dry. His rivers are full, the psalm says. So the guy who delights in the law of the Lord, meditates on it day and night, is like a tree planted by a never-ending source of nourishment and life. Here's his description. You will bring forth fruit in his season. Doesn't say might, may, could. If you meditate on his law day and night, you're planted by a river of water, you will bring forth fruit in your season. Your leaf will not wither, and whatever he does will prosper. In other words, there's always life. There will be fruit, and your way will prosper. In other words, the Lord will make a way for you. Now, I'd love to stop if that's all the psalm said, but it does say a little bit more than that. Beginning in verse 4, it says, the ungodly are not so. They're like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore, the ungodly will not stand in the judgment. Well, that lets us know there's a judgment coming. And there are those that will not stand in it. Those that did not delight in the law of the Lord and meditate on it day and night. Their leaf will wither because their life was centered on this temporal world. I just have to say this. I was thinking the other day, do you really believe in life after death? You really believe in heaven or hell? And there's a great number of people who are like, this is all there is. Do you honestly, if you look at this creation, you cannot deny a creator, a great designer. And if he would go to this length for this, which is temporary, why would this be all there is? This is a scratch on the surface of a display of his ability. And he created all this for a purpose so much bigger than this temporary state that we're in. At any rate, the ungodly will not stand in the day of judgment. Sinners will not stand in the congregation of the righteous. The Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly will perish. Here's the way of the righteous. The way of the righteous is the way of the cross. It's the people that realize, I can't get it all right. But they also recognize, because the Holy Spirit came to reveal to you that you were born for a reason and a purpose, that God sent his son to die for you. And because you could not get it right, so that you could experience what he has prepared for those who love him, which is far more than what we see in this world, in this zone, in this planet. So, man, let me just encourage you today. You don't have to die in your sin. You don't have to live for yourself. You don't have to be lost in the dizziness of this crazy temporal life and world and not realize that there's so much more. All this is temporary, and we're going to something a whole lot better. But more than that, right now, he's given me breath to live. I want to live it, delighting in his law, meditating on it day and night, and be an example of what it looks like to be planted by rivers of water. Well, you guys, I hope you have a great day. Bless you.